I want to insert a brilliant painting Chad made about Bill Gates and the New World Order. He posted this on X and wrote, "As hopeless as the looming New World Order was in 2008, I prayed every day for over a decade that someone in high office would do something. God answered the world's prayers by bringing us the Trump fifth generation warfare operation. Now, thanks to people like President Trump and General Flynn, we can truly be fearless to speak out without as drastic a level of risk there was back then. That's why I finally made this drawing."
And then we come to warp speed. What was the real plan with the pandemics, with the lockdowns, and why did Trump release those vaccines?
Yeah, I mean, people don't even have any idea what Trump stopped from happening with warp speed. They needed to create a great reset. And this thing they used to call the New World Order, that used to be like a theory, and it was kind of unverified, although you could verify it yourself by looking into it. They started saying openly with the Great Reset. They put it on the World Economic Forum Twitter page. You'll own nothing. You'll be happy. We need to reset the world system. I mean, they started becoming really bold and openly saying it.
8 predictions for the world in 2030 by the World Economic Forum. You will own nothing, and you'll be happy. Whatever you want, you will rent. And it'll be delivered by drone. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better.
So what they needed is they needed to destroy the economy. They needed wars to destroy the economy. That's one of the biggest things. They create camouflage to destroy the economy and to reset society. They've done it many times with World War I, World War II. They created a step toward world government with the UN and the World Health Organization. And Trump defunded the World Health Organization, which was something that I was very aware of back in 2008 with the swine flu. They were pushing the forced vaccines, and Trump removed funding from the WHO. That was unheard of.
I'm instructing my administration to halt funding of the World Health Organization while a review is conducted to assess the World Health Organization's role in severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of the coronavirus. Everybody knows what's going on there.
The significance of President Donald Trump defunding the World Health Organization is absolutely unfathomable, because this private organization is at the very heart of the New World Order. Their plan was to use pandemics as the excuse to destroy the world economy through many years of lockdowns and remove all rights, freedoms and private possessions from humanity. A Dutch government virologist from the World Health Organization said on Dutch national television that the WHO has had a plan for a long time to have a decade of pandemics from 2020 to 2030.
If I listen carefully to what you've been saying for years, the probability of a second pandemic is very high.
Yes, there is consensus on that. That has also been in the World Health Organization's 10-year plan for some time. So that said, prepare yourself. The next 10 years, there's going to be a major infectious disease crisis. Well, this was year 1. So,
Trump defunding the World Health Organization and ending the membership of the United States was a devastating catastrophe for the New World Order.
So when 2020 came along, I was like, oh my God, here it is. They're really doing it. They pulled the trigger and they're going for it. This is their big plan.
Yes.
And so here we go. All these people that I knew that used to think I was crazy, now they were like, oh my God, this is everything you were talking about. This is what Chad was talking about. They're doing it. People started coming to me asking questions like, what's happening? What are they going to do? So what they wanted to happen is they wanted everybody locked down. They wanted the lockdown, totalitarian, authoritarian society, as we all saw. They started introducing authoritarian measures, telling you where you can go, when you're allowed to go outside, how you can breathe. The government doesn't have the right to restrict your breathing and give you a dress code for your face. That is so overtly totalitarian and just inflicts upon human rights in just the most blatant way, like to restrict your breathing. It's ridiculous. But so what they wanted to do is they wanted us to lock down for 6 to 12 years. And you had Anthony Fauci and Gates and all these people saying, it's going to take 6 to 12 years at least for a new vaccine, and this is going to be the new normal. This is the new normal. New normal meant New World Order. This is the New World Order.
The New World Order, our army comes marching in, partnering with police to help enforce the country's tough new quarantine laws.
Today is the first full day of the New World Order. Outdoor gatherings are limited to 2 people.
So we've got to accept that this is the New World Order.
We will be looking at what contact tracing looks like in the New World Order.
You're going to have a totalitarian society, and everyone needs to accept it because it's going to be a while before we can create a new vaccine. And it won't be safe to open up and go into open society until we have the vaccine. And as we know, the lockdowns were destroying the economy. For some reason, all these mom and pop stores and grocery stores and hardware stores, everyone had to close down. But Walmart, Home Depot, same kind of store can stay open. So there was a transfer of wealth happening between small businesses and big corporations. And a big transfer of wealth did happen, but it was gonna be complete.
Yeah.
Like there would be no surviving small businesses left. Every single shred of the economy would have been destroyed. And there would be no more functioning economy left. Nobody in business, everyone would be destitute. And everyone would be begging for help, for a nanny state. So that's what they do. They create problem, reaction, solution. So they had a solution that they were going to roll out, and it was going to be the Great Reset, the New World Order. You were going to have a barcode tattoo to be safe, so that you can have your vaccine passport scanned with a smartphone. And if you didn't take the vaccine, you'll be taken to a quarantine camp and never heard from again. Yes. And the CDC had documents. They called it the shielding approach. They called them green zones. They were these quarantine camps, and they talk about these people. I mean, I'll show you the documents, but they said they're going to need psychological help for loss of movement and freedom. I mean, they openly say that they were going to involuntary quarantine people. So by Trump rushing the vaccine at warp speed, what it did is it ended their excuse for the lockdowns, and that ended their excuse to destroy the economy and to finish the transfer of wealth, which would have been the nail in the coffin. So the other thing of what it did is it forced it to be released under EUA, Emergency Use Authorization. They could not legally force it because they needed it to be FDA approved so that it could be enforced door to door with police enforcement, and otherwise you'd be taken to a quarantine camp. So by Trump rushing the vaccine at warp speed, it ended their excuse for the lockdowns. It stopped them from being able to finish the transfer of wealth, and it forced them to release it under EUA, so it could not be physically forced. He also packed the courts with constitutional judges. So the judges that knocked down the mask mandates for airline travels and that knocked down Biden's unconstitutional workplace vaccine mandate, those were Trump-appointed judges. Those mandates that Biden installed were not able to stick. It's a multifaceted death knell to their plan.